Let's start today in child pose, and I'll give a couple options here, guys. Easier child pose, just kind of bringing your knees wide, forehead on the mat, up, forehead on the mat. If you want a little bit more here, guys, take the blocks out in front of you with about 6 inches between them. And then it's the same position, except your arms are lifted up via the blocks. This is a really nice underarm stretch, the lat. All right. Notice my palms are kind of facing each other, even up. And the block's more on like my upper forearm or elbow even. Okay. And the same thing, I kind of let my head dip between the arms. That's a nice, more kind of sensational form of our child pose. There's even one more variation from here. In your child pose on the blocks, you can kind of bend your hands to a prayer behind your head. Just try to make sure the back of your arms are on the blocks, not the inside edge of your arm. So you're going to feel like a really big tricep, the back of your upper arm, and the underarm, the lat muscle. Last 2 to 3 breaths here, guys. Don't forget that there's many variations here, and I always like to encourage, listening to your body. So that quick demo here is this one. As soon as I bend those arms, it's going to lengthen that kind of tricep and lat line even more. So you can see the elbows are on the block. It's the back of my arm, though, not the inner elbow. And the hands are pulling toward the upper back like the spine. And that's a really big stretch, yogis. All right, let's take our time. We'll exit that child pose. We'll meet up slowly in tabletop. Let's do a little reverse grip, cat-cow, so fingers turn toward the knees. Don't go inward. See if you can go outward toward the knees. So lateral rotation, external rotation. And on the inhale, we'll arch that back. Lift the chin, big exhale, press through the fingers, the palm, and round and spread the back. Take a few more, please. If it's too much with the reverse grip, just stay normal grip. Okay, last few breaths there, guys. Now remember, cat-cow is such a linear movement. Fantastic to do regularly. Great for just kind of rejuvenating, increasing blood flow into the spine. But remember that our abdomen really, if you want a quick demo, it moves in like so many complex ways, right? So I like to remind you that in cat-cow. So now, if you want to turn your fingers back forward, as I arch my back in the cow, I go to the right, left, round to the cat, left. So this big kind of dance-like movement in the hips. So if you want another angle, you can see me here. I'm just kind of really even bending my arms. And the hips are like drawing circles to the side. And the goal is to kind of move in a lot more complex and fun and loosened up way, okay? So you get a lot of blood flow through your core, your lower back, your spine and hips. So if you're just joining, we did a nice little reverse grip cat-cow, a nice child pose to stretch the underarms. Come on. Now, please take your time, right? We're going to be in downward facing dog, lifting those hips up and back. First time in dog for most of us. Always good to take a few extra pedals with your feet. Shake your head a little yes and no. Some days you can go right into like a more disciplined hold and just work on some breath. Not too much talk to the breath yet this morning. You know the deal there though. Focus on that breath. Use the breath. Send that breath into the tight areas. Remember, we're trying to breathe deep in and out the nose, unless you're intentionally maybe exhaling out the mouth, sighing it out, or a lion's breath, just to open those areas a little bit more. After a little bit of movement, work that down dog, press the big toe down, lift the sit bones up and back. See if you can try to press your big toe down so much, it's almost like your pinky toe might lift a little bit. So there's this strong kind of pronation in the big toe. Same with the hands. You can press your thumb and index finger down so much, your pinky finger might lift. Just kind of working on hugging that midline. Now keep that kind of same active work, slowly shift forward to our first plank. You know, a lot of mixed theories of plank. Some, people worship plank as the most fantastic exercise. And some people say don't really do planks. I do planks quite often. I like to mix up the variety. And we're going to do that today in class. We're going to do some nice different plank work. But let's get a nice warm-up plank here. If you want to add some push-ups, you're more than welcome to. Take them nice and slow. Inhale down, exhale up. Push-ups are good full body exercise, yogis. Good for heating you up, not too much weight. You can always do them on the knees or, kind of hold more and pulse more. All right, yogis. Downward facing dog. Let's walk our feet slowly to the front of our mat. We're going to find Uttanasana, so forward bend. Keep your blocks handy if you need. Nice inhale, half lift. And then let's forward bend. 2 more of those. I'm inhaling. Notice I even lift a little bit higher than halfway, just to really turn on my back. Exhale. Then inhale. Notice I straighten my legs more in this last one. Weight into the toes. Okay, exhale. Let's take a few breaths here, kind of intertwining the forearms. Swaying side to side. Some of you guys might want to throw your arms behind your back for that nice big shoulder opener. There's another nice version here, yogis, we don't do as often, where you take your hands and kind of intertwine behind your head and you pinch the chin to your chest just lightly. You're basically upside down, forward bending, kind of doing this here. My elbows and shoulders are kind of relaxed. Try to notice, especially in a posture you don't do often, you might have that tendency to kind of unnecessarily tense certain body parts. Try to keep those unnecessary strains to the body at a minimum. All right, guys, let's slowly bend the knees, release any binds, long spine and core. Let's stand up. If you'd like to give it a little kind of twist, I like to encourage some feel-good releasing movements. Let's just go through about, 3 times on our Shiva Namaskar. It's a nice warm-up for our back bend. Don't forget that this has no half lift. It's a step back in Anjayanasana. And when we hit dog to plank, it's the knees, chest, chin to cobra. All right, take a nice big inhale at the top of your mat. Big exhale. So now full body, complex movements and breathing. On your inhale, let's reach up. In this one, they say a little back bend. On the exhale is the slow, controlled forward bend. Left foot steps back knee goes down. Inhale. Now you can keep your back toes tucked or the top of the back foot can turn down. I like to mix it up. Okay, so this is called Anjayanasana. Let's keep moving. Hands plant, back toes tucked, down dog, right foot goes back. So there, we don't go with the leg lift. Okay, now we inhale, shift forward to plank. Exhale, here's where I go knees, elbows in, chest, chin. So this is that Anahata or puppy dog posture. The heart chakra grounds. Inhale slowly, find your cobra. I'm staying with Cobra 1. I've worked out strong the last 3 or 4 days. Body's tight, kind of slow on energy. Okay, downward facing dog. Uh-oh. All right, big inhale. Big inhale. Left foot's going to step forward. Back knee's going to go down. Anjayanasana. We'll take an extra breath here. At your pace, hands plant at the front of your mat. Back toes tucked. Back foot steps forward. Both feet at the front of the mat. Inhale, strong core. I want you to practice standing up, reach up, maybe even a little back bend, and then exhale, find that Tadasana, Svamasthiti, the practice of stacking the body weight. Good posture, okay? On your inhale, let's reach up, round two, or excuse me, the second half. Exhale, forward bend. Little bit faster here, guys. Right foot steps back, back knee down. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Remember, this is strength too. Don't just sit in the joints. Hands plant, left foot back. Lift those sit bones up and back. Press your heels toward the floor. Engage your thighs. Inhale, slowly let the weight. Let's round forward to plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. This is the Ashtanga Pranam. Inhale is Cobra. I'll show Cobra 2 now. Driving my pubic bone down, pulling my navel in and up, rolling my shoulders back and down. Downward facing dog. Keep it going now. Right foot steps forward. Back knee down. Inhale, if it's okay, arms up. If not, hands can stay on blocks here. Hands plant at the front of the mat. Left foot steps forward. Okay, so that's exhale. Now, nice strong core, long spine. Reach up, stand up. Exhale, the prayer passes the thoughts, the vision, the word, the heart, even the gut and the reproductive organs. The prayer passes it all. Round two, a little faster. Inhale, back bend, arms up. Exhale, forward bend, all the way down. Left foot steps back, back knee down, Anjayana. Make sure to press those feet down and lift that navel in and up. Lengthen your side body's lower back. Hands plant, right foot steps back, down dog. Inhale is your high plank. Exhale is your knees, chest, chin. Inhale is your Cobra 1 or 2. Exhale is your down dog. Left foot steps forward, back knee goes down. Remember, you don't have to keep up exactly with my pace. You could even be a little ahead of me. You could be completely going on your own. Hands plant, right foot steps forward is the exhale. Inhale, we rise up, we stand and reach tall. Exhale, hands heart center. So we're about halfway done already, right? Inhale, second side, arms up. Even though we're moving, we're practicing strength and flexibility. Right foot steps back, back knee down. So second leg is the moving leg now. The first moving leg. Hands plant, left foot steps back. Downward dog. Inhale is that high plank position. Exhale is knees, chest, chin. Inhale is your Cobra. Exhale is your down dog. Right foot steps forward, back knee down, Shiva Namaskar. Hands plant, left foot steps forward. Inhale, strong core, rise up. Hands through the prayer, maybe pausing at the prayer. In front of any chakra. Sometimes we do prayer in front of the third eye, sometimes more like the word, the neck, the heart, sometimes even lower in the gut. We do let the downward prayer down here. Reverse prayer as well. So it's okay to mix it up. It's not always at the heart center. Last round. On your next inhale, let's reach it up. On the exhale, forward bend. I'm going to move a little bit faster. Left foot back, back knee down. Inhale, Anjana. Right foot back, downward dog. Inhale is the high plank. Exhale is the knees, chest, chin. No. Inhale is the Cobra. Exhale is the down dog. Left foot steps forward, back knee down. Inhale, arms up. Right foot steps forward, forward bend. Inhale is the rising, the reaching tall, the standing posture. Exhale is the sacred pause to remind us it's a meditation, an offering from the soul. Last half, inhale, arms high. Exhale, bow forward. Right foot steps back, back knee down, inhale. Hands plant, left foot goes back. Inhale is the high plank. Exhale is the knees, chest, chin. Inhale is the cobra. Exhale is the down dog. Right foot steps forward, back knee down, inhale. Left foot steps forward, forward bend, exhale. Inhale, we rise up to standing. Exhale, we bring our hands heart center. Open your feet wide to the side of the mat. Take little hands on the hips. So I'm going to give you a moment to stretch, but I'm using this more for a movement, guys. All right? We're going to slowly hinge forward. Hands can go on the floor under the shoulders. Press the big toe down, maybe pull on the floor a little bit. Just a breath or two there, just to kind of give you a forward bend and neutralizer in the symmetry. But today, yogis, I'm going to work this kind of big thread the needle through a full range rotational movement. So nice inhale, we're going to half lift. So it's kind of, you don't force this range of motion, right? Exhale, I'm going to reach my left hand toward my right hand toward my left pinky toe. Inhale, I'm going to push through my left hand. Your hands might be on blocks here. Your right arm goes kind of all the way out and up. Exhale, take it slow. Right hand toward left toe. Inhale, up and open. Notice I just bent my knees a little bit. My lower back's a little tight. I did a big, basically legs the last 3 days in a row. So inhale, right arm up and open. Exhale, thread the needle. Inhale, actively reach out and up. Exhale, actively reach under and across. Last 2 to 3 on that side, please. Again, you can bend the knees. It's suggested to keep the weight in the toes and hands on the blocks if you need or want those. And then at your base, next time your right hand comes down neutral. If you want to try something, bend your knees, lengthen your spine, try in a cat-cow here. So this is a type of tabletop. See how I inhale, arch the back, exhale, I round. Inhale, I bend the knees a little bit more, I arch the back, lift the chin, exhale, I round. So I straighten the legs a little bit more, okay? Little nice way to try cat-cow in different ways. Second side, right hand under the shoulder. Exhale, left hand kind of reaches under across. I feel that stretch. Inhale, I push through my right hand, out and up. It's a lot easier with those hands on blocks. I forgot to mention, easiest version, guys, is something like this. I thread the needle in table, and then I reach it out and up. They're both forms of like that table, just different like kind of leg pattern. If you want to do another variation of this, that's totally fine. Your exhale is that under crossed reach that they call it like close it. And then inhale, you reach that chest, arm, abdomen up and open. They say open it. So you close the twist and then you open it. So, all right, so you shorten your anterior spiral line on that exhale. And then the inhale reaches that left arm kind of up away from that right leg. Nice job there, guys. We're going to come back down to our tabletop. If you want to do another round of cat-cows, so I call this tabletop, right? Because it's just like a high tabletop. Now we're going to bend our knees, slowly rise up and turn our feet out here. I'm going to have you move side to side. So we just had the legs more straight, bent over, moving in the twist. Now we want to have those knees pretty bent and keep them still again. The legs were moving forward and back a lot. Now I want to move that core. So intertwine your fingers, turn your palms up. Now, a lot of us, let me show you the movement. It's going to be something like this. Okay. Now, some of us might want to keep the palms more facing each other and kind of go like this a little bit more. okay? More strong version is to keep both arms up, fingers intertwined. Knees bend deep. Don't let knees buckle in. Yeah, as you can see, we're getting into it now with a lot more strength and a lot more kind of complex range of motion demand on the body. I'd say there was some warm up, not a whole ton, but guys, remember, listen to your body. If I'm teaching too much, something doesn't feel right, you know, the goal is to listen to your body or your spirit, you know, your whatever you know, yourself before the instructor. No. So this is that now lateral movement where you're getting some stretch into that first big side body. Okay? Now listen, come back to center. Slowly, arms down by side. Notice what I do here. Watch this little drill. My toes turn in. I pivot on the ball of the feet, the pad of the foot, heels turn in. Watch, I pivot on the heels, toes turn in. Do that one more time out. Toes out, heels out. Toes out, heels out. Try it. And then back in. Hands can go on hips. Heels in, toes in. Just a little cool rotational drill for the legs. We do a lot of this stuff, more particularly in gentle yoga, where we're working that really spiral pivot. And now we're going to try something new today. We've done it before. It's been a while. If I could just show you quick, I like to give you that visual, and then you need to look less. So we'll start with feet hip split distance. And now to start, what's going to happen is similar to what you just did. Your feet are both going to pivot right. So as you can see, my feet are here. Now from the side, it looks like this. All right, so the exercise is going to be here. Pause, bend the knees. Here, here. So it's this type of chair that we pivot on the heels. So let's try it. Feet about hips width distance. You can reach your arms up. Take a breath or three in chair. Now, we're going to pivot both feet about, what, 45-degree angle to the left. So boom. My feet are still about hips width distance. What you're going to notice, it's going to feel like your right leg is in back of your left leg. Let's do something different. Let's bring the arms wide and pull our arms back. And then bend the knees a little bit deeper. Okay, you can shift a little bit of weight forward into the toes, a little bit more weight into the heels. So it's a more asymmetrical chair. Try to relax your traps a little bit, guys, and just pull your arms back. Okay, inhale your arms high, pivot back to center neutral, and then pivot to the right. So it's about a 45-degree pivot. We didn't go all the way to the side. Bring your arms wide again, pull your arms back. So it's a nice subtle difference there. It's like a back fly. If you go to you're doing exercise, you take those weights and the weight, you spread your arms back, turning those back muscles on, similar to a side plank position, let's say, in the arms, but pulling them back more. Okay, now go slow. Inhale back to center. You might want to straighten your legs for a moment. This is not easy stuff. Any new exercise is always difficult, right? Now go slow. Pivot slowly, bend the knees, first side. Little challenge. See if you can lift your heels a little bit. Just a little bit, guys. Let's not all go crazy here now. Go slow, back to center. Just keeping those arms up. You're getting such good arm exercise. Pivot to the right. Okay, now again, it's called a sagittal squat. So from the side, I'm kind of like this, right? It's a very awkward feeling if you're new to it, maybe. And then see if you can lift your heels. Shift to the mound, the ball, the pad of the foot. Hold. See, the last part, keeping those arms up here, guys. Hold them up there if you can. Like I mentioned in the abdomen in the cat-cow, it's designed to move in so many unique, complex ways. If you're feeling good, we start to approach those this idea of confusing your muscles. That's really important, yogis, if you're feeling good, okay? Okay, the heels down, back to center. Hands can go on the hips. Let's do a little standing back bend, a little bit different. So I am gonna have you reach your arms up again, If you need a more modified version, it's going to be here, weight into the heels. If you would like, watch me now. Reach your arms up. We did this earlier on blocks, actually. See how my palms come together? And I reach the hands down in the back. Okay? Now, I want to hug my elbows in, push my hips forward, lift my chest, and start to reach my hands down. It's almost like my hands are reaching for my buttocks down the lower back. Okay? Should feel a pretty good stretch there. Okay, now go slow. Inhale back up. Now let's take it to yogi squat. Go slow. Hands come back toward the heart. Bend the knees. Try to keep the sit bones back and down, but toward your heels. Take a moment. Lift the chest. Adding on, right forearm in front of left shin. If you want, notice this option today. My right elbow pushes my right knee open, but my right hand grabs my left ankle. And then today, instead of reaching the arm out, I'm going to kind of reach the arm up a little bit more. So my right hand kind of has that ankle, and I'm pushing the knee open. A lot of times we'll do this version where we open and bind here. You're always welcome to change that and do that instead. We're just giving you something a little different today. Okay, now go slow. We'll come back to center. This is a big position here. Left elbow pushes left knee open. Some of us took it here, or some of us now grabbing that right ankle with the left hand. And the right arm kind of goes up a little bit more to the sky. You know, adding twists to big poses like this, guys, this is big stretching, big kind of mobility. All right. Yoga squat's a common place. I mentioned kind of dumping weight into your bones or joints, where if you're really flexible, you know, it's time to start maybe lifting up a little bit. Okay. Let's neutralize. Hands on our hip, feet forward, lift the hips, bend the knees, stand up. So that's a lot around the midsection. Give it one of these. And then let's do this routine here one more time now. Adding on, more of a 1 foot shift, okay? Chair pose. Now, reach your arms forward. So I'm in chair pose, my arms are forward. Go right first. Pivot your feet 45 degrees to the right. Your arms also go to the right. Now take your hands, intertwine your fingers in front of you, turn your palms out. You're in sagittal squat, asymmetrical. It's going to be weird. Now twist to the right a little bit. Even up to the right a little bit. 3 more breaths. It's a very awkward position, yogis. So you kind of look like this. See it? This does even get more complex if you wanted to take it there. Okay? Back to center, pivot to the center. Intertwine your fingers the opposite way, please. And then go to the left. Bend the knees. Intertwine fingers, palms forward, and then twist left. Maybe a little bit up. Hold, breathe. Go slow, back to center. Neutral, inhale, arms up, squeeze your butt, lengthen, lift your core. 1 more round, arms forward. Pivot right, 45, sagittal squat today. Shift a little bit weight into your heels, a little bit weight into your toes. So I'm lifting the balls of the feet, I'm lifting my heels. Heels, ball the feet down. Shift your weight to your right foot. Hover your left foot, 1/4 inch. Left foot down, same position. Right foot hovers 1/4 inch. So yogis, the idea is endurance on the legs, the core, the body. Right? Like I said, it's to cause a little bit of chaos internally. Now see if you can sit a little bit lower. Stand up, Pivot to the side, second side. Now remember, arms are forward if you can. Hold them there. That's that strength in the shoulder. Now see if you can pivot a little bit forward into your toes. Heels might lift, then a little back. I mean, we could basically do subtle variations here all day. When I did this stuff 2 days ago, I did a lot more variations, and for some reason, a lot of them are slipping my mind right now. So I'll take that as a sign that we'll probably end this style today here. You know, I did a lot of different things. Now shift your weight to your front foot, see if you can hover your back foot. Right foot down, left foot hovers. It's kind of like a little one-legged chair. We do this stuff all the time. Slight variance. Both feet down. See if you can sit a little bit lower. Sometimes I'll say lift the back heel here. Then stand up, pivot to the side. Arms down by side. One more round of our standing back bend. Maybe a little bit of this. So arms are going to reach up now, palms together. If you're doing it again, elbows hug in. Now watch me here. I'm going to reach down my spine, pull my ribs in. I'm going to lift the heart. I'm going to lift the heart here. But now I'm going to shift my weight to my left foot. I want to keep my knees in a line, so I don't want my left knee to go forward. Keep your left knee back, pull your ribs in. Point your left toe, squeeze your heel to your butt actively. Don't overarch the back, pull the ribs in. More lift the upper chest up as I reach my arms down. Pull those ribs in a little bit. Don't let the left knee go forward in space. That's the femur bone. Try to take your time here, guys. Let that bending knee, thigh bone goes back in space as my arms kind of reach down as I lift my chest up more. Okay? Left foot down if you want to take your arms for a swing. Arms up. So I'm not intertwining anything. I'm just calling a prayer here. See that? Pressing the thumb and palms all out together. Here we go. Arms up. Reach down. Shift weight to your second foot. It's my left foot. Now see how when I bend my knee, see how this knee is forward? That's what I was mentioning. I want that left knee back. Squeeze that heel to butt and pull the ribs in. So the idea is called posterior tilt, hip extension, and knee flexion. And also dorsiflexion, so plantar flexion, so point your toe. All right? It's not easy, yogis, this move. Very subtle, too. You're not going to get a lot of range of motion. Okay? I'm not really reaching for my foot to try to get it. Okay, big inhale. Nice job. Maybe a little arm swing, both feet down. Maybe a little bit of this. Nice job, yogis. Top of your mat. Widen your feet, please. Squeeze your butt, lift your chest. Arms up, yogi squat on the exhale. Now, if you wanted to try, we are now coming into arms. Just let you know, we're going to do some plank type movements and awkward holds. So taking plank now, expanding our boundaries a little. If you wanted to try crow pose here, plant your hands, hug your elbows in. But again, we are going into plank if you need to save energy. Knees on triceps, spread your back, look forward. One foot lifts on the other. Your elbows got to come forward over your wrists, guys. If the elbows are way back in space, this ain't happening. The elbows have to come forward. And think of your fingers as like brakes. They engage, they turn on to not let weight go forward. All right, so I always feel like my fingers is what stops me from going too far forward, but I keep shifting forward. All right. Now go slow. Some of you are working crow. I want you to kind of take your time. Optional vinyasa, kind of stepping back and dog. Maybe now visiting high plank to low plank, maybe even taking that up dog. We did cobras earlier, so I hover halfway. Now I keep my arms more straight, my hips, thighs, knees hovering, and take the back bend. Okay? If you need a quick child pose, feel free, but we're going to meet in downward facing dog. All right, so this first movement is a movement with your legs in plank. You can do this on your forearms if your wrists are the limiting factor. So from downward dog, let's slowly shift the plank. And this is pretty easy. We've done this before, like once or twice. Pretty cool movement. My right foot, shift weight to my left foot. My right foot steps like off my mat very wide. And then I shift weight to my right foot and I step my left foot wide. So I'm in a very wide plank now. Right, so I'm like this. So from this angle, you might see better here. Now I shift weight to my left foot, right foot steps back in, shift weight to my right foot, left foot in. And then I switch sides. Right foot out, left foot out, right foot in, left foot in. And then I lead with the second foot. Left foot out, left foot in, right foot in. So that little kind of, sometimes they call it like a jumping jack, because we do with the arms too eventually here, but we're just starting with the legs to maintain a lot of upper body kind of stabilizing. Your legs go wide, your legs go together, is in essence what we're doing, okay? Last few. Just to make plank a little bit more exciting. Some of you are taking breaks, good idea. This stuff is a tough class right now, guys. Come on. All right, meet back in regular plank. If you need a rest, feel free. Now, this is the pulling plank. Oh, I meant to say, keep your feet wide for this one. So feet go a little bit wide, not normal plank, wide plank. I shift my weight to my right hand. My left elbow pulls back and up. Left hand down, shift my weight to my left hand, right elbow pulls up. So it's just a little now, arm, pull. Sometimes you see people at the gym doing this with weights, right? They'll be in plank and they're pulling. And you can add push-ups here too if you like to go big, right? So you could go. That's the next version. And then eventually, they get crazy. They start hovering the opposite leg as well. So we're just kind of mixing in some fun plank work today. Just so we're not always holding that, same old repetitive plank. Again, let's confuse your muscles is the idea. And that is usually only suggested on a good day when you're feeling good, not really for injured people or like a beginner of plank, okay? Now listen, take your time, drop down to the knees. Let's take a stretch. Big toes touch, knees wide, and sit back on the heels. Now we're gonna lean back. Okay, now this takes some adjusting. It's a really big posture. It actually is for beginners. What it is child pose, but going backward instead of forward. So some of us call it the reclining child. The knees are wide. The forearms are starting to maybe come down, but don't force this one. It's a big stretch. Let's meditate after that plank work. All right, guys, so now we're going to try another round of planks. Just a kind of quick hold. Nothing. Just a quick little hold here. So if you need to do this, you can do it in form. It's a little bit more challenging. So on the hands if you can. Now, what this is called is extended plank. So I'm going to slowly come up to plank. And then what I'm going to do is walk my hands a little bit forward in space. Extended plank. With practice, you're going to go a lot further here. You need to stay on your mat so you don't slip maybe.
Okay, so you're gonna go a lot more, a longer pose. So feet can be about hips width distance or slightly wider, and hands are about shoulder width distance. Now I'm trying to hold that. Think of it like a boat pose, but a lot more weight. You still wanna work this idea of like a cat spine. So imagine you are on your back. Your lower back is trying to push against the floor, trying to take the arch out of your back. So we're trying extended plank. If you wanna go big today, it's simply plank, but you walk your arms forward, okay? So it looks like this one more time. Okay, walk your hands back under your shoulders. Last part, it's two things, guys. We'll come back to plank. So same thing, you can widen your feet, but we're gonna bring the arms wide. I turn my hands out, wide angle plank. So my feet go wide, my hands go wide. So a plank like this now. Trying some different stuff we haven't done in a while. So plank with your hands turned out and wide. Your feet can actually be still close together, but just to switch it up as well for the legs, kind of like this star plank. I'm working you today, guys. A lot of awkward stuff, right? Now listen, guys, see if you can slowly walk back to plank. Bring it down to the knees, to the chest. Lengthen through your core. Reach your arms down by your sides. You know I like to try to turn on the back shoulders. Nice and slow. Inhale, lift your chest, your heart. Maybe lift your arms if you're feeling up to it. Let's lift the legs. Couple breaths here. It's just that idea of kind of symmetry, guys. After, we kind of just tighten up that back in a nice way. You can't really overstrain here. It's active, so you're not going to approach any hyper ranges. Try to lengthen the back of your neck and close your eyes, right? You can imagine like you're squeezing an imaginary block behind your hands and lifting that block up. Also pulling the belly to navel in and pointing those toes a little bit more. Okay, take a slow release. Maybe turn an ear down and windshield wipe the knees side to side. We're going to do one more round here in a moment. Now, some different arm variations. That's the back of the shoulder. I like to teach yogis to try to get the back activating more. This is a nice variation for your arms. It's that back fly we were doing earlier, so that is back. But just to be clear, yogis, as soon as I reach my arms forward, it becomes more of the front shoulder. So we did this a lot with the arms up. So I'm suggesting maybe arms here or arms back behind you. The strong version is reverse prayer or like fingertips touch behind your sacrum. Remember this one where we hold the fingers to touch. We don't grip the hand. So you're kind of like this behind you. So there's really strong version if you want to go for it. Let's do one more round. Here we go. Pull the belly in, chin forward, start to lift the chest, lengthen the back of the neck. If your arms are here, you roll those shoulders back and straighten those arms. And if you're up for it, let's lift the legs. Don't forget that I am trying to straighten my legs. Maybe even bring my legs together, point the toes more, pull my navel in, lengthen through my core. Try to relax the neck a little bit. You got about 3 to 4 more breaths. Big inhale, please. A slow release. Maybe turning an ear down, maybe bending your knees and kind of windshield wiping feet side to side, giving yourself a little body massage. Press back to child pose for a moment, yogis. Back to tabletop. All right, we're going to do one more plank round. So this is how we're training our upper body today. Extra planks. It's been a while since we kind of visited some of these options here. Remember, Thursday is usually one of my stronger classes. Tuesday morning, Thursday morning, and Sunday morning, Saturday morning. So this is the plank. It's a little different if you watch me here. So a lot of times we do this twisting plank by bringing the heels to the side. I want to bring my feet about mat width distance in plank. And then I'm going to bring my hands close together. Okay? Remember we've done the tricep push-ups before in here? I want to grip that left hand down without letting my hips swivel. My right arm is going to reach out and up. So as my chest turns to the right, it's almost like you're going to side plank. I actually want my right hip to drop down. So it's not here, it's here. Okay? So my arms are going to stack. My chest is going to face the floor. My shoulders, in a sense, almost, like my mid-chest. So in essence, I'm like this. If this was plank yogis, my right arm goes out and even starts to go up. But yogis, that twist wants to take the hip with it. It's the same as like a lot of poses we do. Drop that hip down. It's just like revolve moon, where that twisting to the right wants to lift that hip. Drop my left hip. Pull your left hip up and pull your right hip down more. It's awkward, it's weird. If it's weird, you're doing it right. Go second side, go slow, right hand down. Now, that right hand should be maybe a little bit more in the center under the chest, right? Left arm reaches out. As I reach my left arm out, my core and chest twist to the left slightly, right? So my chest, I said, is facing down. That's not accurate. It's actually is twisting to the left. It's more like my hips are facing down, okay? So I made that miscue there. The left arm is going to be out and up, but my hips are facing down. And I really actively twist left with the chest, but drop my left hip down. Just another way to do, an active twist, but confuse the muscles. Should we call this class Confusing Day? Confusing Day? Everything has been a little weird, confusing, and awkward, which usually means soreness in new places. Gonna feel new places in your body, guys. Come on, girl. Now go slow, right? We're gonna bring it back down to the hands, down to the knees. I think that's good there. I have a couple more planks listed, but I think that's a good place to stop with the planks. Let's do a quick camel. Now we rise up. So if you think of the Vera, the lean back, the compression, the reclining child as a stretch more for the thighs, the ankles. Now we bring that stretch more up here. And that middle one was more of our strengthening active. What I want to look out for here, guys, is this arching in the back. Try to swing the hands around, fingers face up, traction your butt down, hips forward, and lift that heart and chest. All right? If my back hurts at all, I'll squeeze my glutes a lot there. If it's feeling really open and relaxed, I'll relax my core and butt as much as possible. So, I get that question, son, do I engage my butt here? No, well, it's context. It depends on, what you're doing, why you're doing it. More lift the chest up, as opposed to dropping the back down. All right, so think like up dog to the sky. Now take a moment, sit on your heels, take a short meditation. It's because we came from that twist, a very challenging tension twist into that big back bend. All right, guys, stand up. Maybe give a little knee lift. Different balance today, okay? We're not doing the typical poses today, right? The only typical posture we did was the Ashtanga Pranam, right? The Anjayana. So hands come in prayer. I want you to try something today. You're really used to being on one foot, all right? Now, a little bend in the knees, hands in prayer to start. Left foot hovers. I'm not going to obsess about where this left foot is. Now, I want to try what we did earlier. Lean a little bit forward, a little bit back, into my standing heel. Watch my subtle weight shift. Heel, forward toes. Heel, forward toes. It's almost like my heel's gonna lift. You can even do it for a sec. And then it's almost like my toes are gonna lift, okay? So this is a lot of work for the arch of your foot. I am still maintaining some core integrity. Sometimes my shirts look like I'm arching here, right? So I am still maintaining core integrity. Now, same foot, be easy. A little bit lean in, out. Little in, little out. It's very subtle. I'm on one foot. I'm kind of almost like I'm skiing, a little in, a little out. My foot is going to the inner edge, the outer edge, slightly. So that's side to side. We did forward and back. Now watch, it's a little twist in the upper body. It's not the foot moving now. It's not weight shifting forward and back. My upper body still on the same foot is twisting a little side to side. Be easy, yogis. It's the third one, and it's kind of the most challenging. All right? So it kind of looks like this if I'm going big. But be easy. We're learning to stabilize that rotational quality of the knee. It's really good to teach the knee spiral stabilization. Left foot down, stand up. Shake that out, guys. And second side. So we're here, hands in prayer. Lean back, lean forward on the left foot. So it is a 1 foot balance, but now intentionally. You know, it's kind of like in tree pose, we work on not balance, we work on not falling. That's the first objective on 1 foot. And then it's more like, you know, intentionally move in range here a little. So forward, back, you can even lift the toes, lift the heel, lift the pad of the foot, lift the heel. You know, this stuff is usually done with shoes on. Some of you know I have this new client. It's a young 13-year-old man who he loves basketball, and he wants to dunk and be a better basketball player. And I train his mom, I work with his mom in yoga. So he's getting lessons from me in basketball. We're doing a lot of like ankle stuff, tons of dorsiflexion calf raises, tons of active mobility, and a lot of balance for him. Right? We need to learn to isolate, turn on more muscle in the leg. Left to right. Some of you are ahead of me if I ramble on. So just be easy. It's very subtle. It's a subtle shift to the outer edge, like supination. It's a subtle shift to the big toe inner edge, pronation. Yeah, and then, so forward, back, side to side, and twist, right? So now it's not really like weight shifting as much as it is just like body twisting. So this right knee and chest, hips open up right, and then it kind of closes over, right? Here, here, here. And it's not as much movement as it is control, okay? So I want to really feel like I'm controlling the movement, or I'm really, my action is determining the movement, okay? All right, now shake that out. Nice job. All right, I think that's pretty good there, guys. Let's stand up. I wish we had a little bit more time, but we'll keep moving forward. Third time in yoga squat. So that's a thing we're doing today. Child pose was our first one. Now for this one, you might want to block. We're going to lower down slowly. I'm going to do that chicken pose, so stretching our shoulders. Sitting on the block here, guys. For most of us. Some of us don't need it. You can do regular yoga squat. This is a really big shoulder stretch. Take it slow. Lift the chest. My right hand, the back of the hand is going to go on my side waist, and that elbow sneaks inside the knee. So you can see this, my waist has my hand hooked. And then that elbow, try to sit up tall again. The back of my left hand now, if you want to try it, goes inside my left elbow. I try to sit up tall, I try to relax my shoulders. Now a little bit more of a meditative hold, squeezing the elbows toward each other via the knees. Big breath into your upper back. Try to relax your shoulders, your neck.
Go slow, release, shake it out. We are into stretching now. If you want to do anything else, that's fine. I want to do our inner thighs today. Again, if you want to do like an outer hip, front thighs are done, hamstrings are pretty much done. So either outer or inner thighs would be a good idea. So I'm going to teach the frog pose. This is what I've been trying to mix into class more. I want you to do it often, all right? Butterfly stretch, konasana would be easier. If not, you're here, feet wide, knees wide, feet wide, knees wide. You got to really make sure your knees are padded, especially if you have sensitive knees or you're new to this posture. Notice my knees are, my feet are maybe a tiny bit wider than my knees, and you can see my feet are turned out, so the inner edge of my feet are down. Now, what I want to look out for here, guys, I came down to my forearms because my hips got pretty low. I don't want my hips to come really forward. You know, I say that a lot, but you still walk around yoga classes and everyone's hips are forward. So try to, if anything, push your hips back a little bit, okay? And let those hips descend straight to the floor. Just let me give you another visual. You're basically like this on the floor. Remember we did this in the beginning? It's that same pose. My feet are kind of turned out. My knees, it's this that would be on the floor, and your arms are kind of like that. So like I said, don't let the hips come forward. You're kind of like this. Last few breaths. One of the most difficult exercises, I haven't taught it in yoga, is like the sliding frog or sliding straddle. So you have towels under both feet and you let your legs slide wide, and then you use your adductors to squeeze them together. You know, what we're trying to do is open this up, but then we would eventually apply strength, static first, and then probably dynamic and weight bearing. So if you want a quick demo, you can exit slowly. You know, what we do is, you know, I would sit up a wall here and I put these weights on like my knees and I kind of am like this. Now this is only 5 pounds. I would usually use something more like 20 or 30, but just for demo's sake, my weight is here. And I kind of let the weight really push my knees open, and I lift slow and I resist it down. So it's a really nice just kind of food for thought about strengthening the inner thighs in some different ways. We would eventually do that in yoga sculpt class when we bring that back around. All right, guys, listen, let's swing our legs around. Let's lay on our back. So, you know, back bends are done. We did Anjaneyasana, standing bends, cobras. We did locust. We did Vira and camel. Big back bending day. Not too many twists. And our legs were wide and more straddles than lunges. Our only lunge really was the Anjaneyasana. So if there's one last stretch you want to do, you can. But I'm going to teach a big twist. Final big stretch. Left leg release, right knee in. Take a moment here. You know, some of you might even want to go like a little straight leg, gripping behind the hamstring. Even like a little half happy baby. And then we're going to take that big twist here, yogis. So left hips to the right, left leg a little bit more to the right, and then right knee across to the left. Right arm reaches out and away. Look to the right, nice deep breathing. You know, it's kind of like a lot of times in yoga, we end with like a hip opener and a hip release, a torso release. So I'm choosing inner thigh release today. Still finishing up with a twist. You know, some days we want to end with a twist, but I don't think there was that much twisting. All right. So when you're done, let's come back to center and switch sides, please. Some of you have taken different variations. I love to see that. Seated spinal twist is always a good option as well. Okay, and then remember, if your left knee's going to the right, it kind of wants to take the body with it. So hips a little left, even that right leg can scooch to the left a little bit on your mat. And then you reach your left arm out and look to the left. So deepest twist of class here. Some of you did a little double bind or using your strap. Nice personalizing. So yogis, it's about 10 right now, right? So if there is one little posture you want to do, you know, if you want to put your legs up, if you want to throw a block under your butt, even like, you know, biggest forward bend of class would be, we did a lot of forward bends though. So, you know, all that yogi squat, we're kind of done there. But you could kind of, you know, do this if you wanted, more for the inversion quality. Okay, so it's plow into more of like that Sarvangasana, the shoulder stand. Legs up the wall is fantastic here. How about I give you another minute, and then we'll just take a short 2 to 3 minute meditative closing position, okay? Something kind of more releasing and relaxing too could be just taking like a block underneath the head. I was telling, I did this on Tuesday, long hold, right? I put the block up against the wall, and I was just here. Just letting that, I did it against the wall. This is like it's a little too kind of slippery. So I need that against the wall if you want to do high setting. But the back of my neck was really sore, and it was too sore for plow. So I mimicked plow by doing my neck traction on that block like that. All right. So yogis, you're gonna, you know, take another 20, 30 seconds here, and then we're gonna just close it out if you have the time. It's important to make sure we calm the nerves. If you have to leave early and you notice it's getting late, maybe skip a last stretch or two. I mean, you don't need to stretch like every day. There's a lot of people who work out like daily and like do very, very minimal stretching, right? Yogis tend to overstretch and like want to stretch. People come to yoga because they want to stretch. Stretching is good and has a lot of benefits, but you know, strengthening is more of that kind of primary function of the muscles, and we don't want to like let stretching like precede the strengthening. All right. So let's come to our final position, guys. You know the deal here. Get comfortable. Close your eyes. Let your bones get heavy. Relax your lungs, your eyes, your face, your jaw, and your breath relaxes. For closing relaxation, final pose.